how it
the
was.
80s. I'm
Shut
telling
the
you right
fuck
now.
up. You were there for like a month and a half.
Were you in the 80s?
You were there for a month and a half.
Were you in the 80s?
You don't
Answer
even
my question.
remember
Answer
being
my
in the
question.
80s.
You're going to talk about memories? You're going to talk about memories?
Really? Yeah, he got you there. He got you.
I can remember this conversation tomorrow. Everybody, you got Michael Jackson grabbing his crotch all the time. Prince was making those weird noises into a microphone. Shit was crazy. 80s.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to our first ever live stream on Twitch of the Los Wise Guys podcast. I am one of your hosts, Eslam, aka Ra, God of the Sun, accompanied by Dan, Emperor Disco, and Danny, Papa Sunkiller. How's it going, fellas?
How's it going? How's it going?
Really
look,
good.
Look at
really
Twitch
good.
looking at us. Look at Twitch looking at us. Look at that
First
happening.
time. This is brand new. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, man. We out here. So, like that little clip indicated, we are going to be talking about Stranger Things Season 4 Part 2, which, according to Netflix, broke their servers when they put it up. Which, I guess that's a good thing. People were hyped up for these last two episodes of Season 4.
I heard that it got like in like a week or two, it got like over 1 billion like views. It was ridiculous.
I don't know about 1 billion views, but I would say 1 billion like watch time
Streams,
minutes.
like people watching that shit. It was 1 billion.
Netflix doesn't have 1 billion people.
You're
Netflix
wild.
doesn't
Like
have
people
1 billion
can't
people.
like multiple watch it. You're crazy.
I have a question. Since we're
yeah.
live on Twitch TV /Los Wise Guys, and you could also find this later on YouTube.com and just search Los Wise Guys, are we responding at all to people in the Twitch chat watching us live?
Hey, if they hit us up, why not?
I guess we can say what's up to Rudy and Fernando that are currently in our Twitch right now.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? How's it
up?
going?
What's up?
Thank you for your support.
Yeah. The Pitmaster General.
Yeah.
Yep.
But-
what is it? The Antichrist.
What is the antagonist? The antagonist, Rudy.
And once again, we have a shout out to the Killer Fox Henry, who just got into the chat as well.
Nice, the number one fan.
Yes.
So, Stranger Things Season 4 Part 2 broke the Netflix servers. What are your initial thoughts on this? On these last two episodes of the Season 4?
One second. I just looked it up for you, and it says Stranger Things sets new viewing milestone, becomes second Netflix original series to cross 1 billion streaming hours. So yeah, I was wrong,
Yeah.
but
There's
that makes sense.
yeah, streaming hours make sense. Yeah. Okay. So initial thoughts on these last two episodes, Dan.
I'm assuming you're talking to me.
Yeah.
I hate TV shows, so it's always a pleasure when I get to see one that I enjoy. So yeah, I was a big fan. I've liked Stranger Things from season 1 up until now. I know a lot of people fell off. I stayed with them. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I liked it. I mean, we're gonna talk about it later in detail, but as of right now, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So these two specific episodes, you were good with them. Like you enjoyed them. Okay.
Yep.
Disco.
I overall liked it too. Definitely a thumbs up. Not to get into too much detail, but there were a lot of characters and like they grouped up into a lot of groups, and I feel like it's very easy to just lose track or have like boring groups. But I think they handled everything very well. Everything kind of worked, and there was synergy, and I enjoyed the story too. So yeah, thumbs up for me.
Well, there was 3 storylines happening at the same time since the beginning of season 4, right? You had your 3 groups, and
There was 4.
Well, then it became 3.
Yeah.
But yeah. So for me, Netflix servers breaking for these last 2 episodes kind of tells me one thing is that maybe people, for something that's this big in the ether of like the culture, they would have benefited more if they would have released it weekly. make it an appointment. Make it something people wait for it to see, because they did wait for these last 2 episodes for like a couple of weeks, and
want
then
those, water
everybody, as
cooler
soon as they
moments.
drop, exactly.
People go to work the next day. They're chilling. Is that a thing people do? They still talk to each other. They drink water.
No, not
Stay
really. But
hydrated. Stay
they do
hydrated.
talk in
Everybody's got one of
passing.
these. Everybody's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
one of
yeah.
these now.
Yeah, and
All the
yeah,
fitness models are saying stay hydrated these days. So I mean, maybe.
There you go.
But yeah, so I feel like they could have benefited from like it releasing weekly. I know other streaming platforms have started doing that, where when a new season drops, they release 2 or 3 episodes of that season, and then weekly thereafter. Amazon does this. Hulu does this.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus does this.
HBO Max,
So
they all do it.
they know that people want to binge a little bit, but at the same time, they want to come back weekly to see episodes. So these new streaming services took what Netflix did and perfected it to a certain point. But that's besides the point. Let's get into what is it? Episode 8.
Episode
hour
8
and
and 9, it should be.
Okay, so it was episode 8, hour and a half long. It was an hour and a half of setup. And, you know, Papa took mad fucking long to die in that episode. Like, I felt like it was 20 minutes. He was dying. Like, I was just like, can we, like, fucking hurry this up, please? Oh,
And when
I
you
know
by
thought
the
he
way,
was
experience-
dead, he wasn't dead. It was just like, what
Yeah.
the fuck, die?
I could just say from experience, Papas don't go down easy. You know what I'm saying?
listen,
We
I
stay strong.
forgot to mention, we're going into spoilers now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Correct.
Papa took mad fucking long to die. And that episode, to me, was, again, like I said, it was an hour and a half long setup for the 2.5 hours that will follow in episode 9. We
I
found
did
out
like-
that.
I did like on that scene, since you started there, I did like on that scene that Papa, when he like was dying on his last breath, he's like, "Do you forgive me?" or do you understand? And Elle was just like, just left him hanging.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
dude,
then-
sucked.
And then she was just like, "Bye, Papa." Like, okay.
Yeah, there was the other cool scene in that sequence was when she stopped the helicopter and like fucked it up, and
With the little
with the
necklace
collar,
thing,
yeah.
the collar that dampens or whatever. Like, she's still able to bring it down. I thought that was cool.
See, that's the thing. It didn't get me in Obi-Wan Kenobi. It didn't get me here. Both times I was like, it is what it is.
well, I mean, that was Darth Vader, and that was amazing.
It's the same scene. Like it was like it's okay.
No, it's not the same scene.
You know
Would
how
you
it is.
have
The
been-
moment
One was a spaceship taking off. Do you know the amount of? I'm gonna get a little bit
Force?
scientific here. Do you know the amount of torque it takes for a ship to go off that fast, and for it to stop
One thing-
like that?
one thing I can tell you is that I don't think it could have landed in a really bad storm.
If it got stopped by the force like that, I highly doubt it would land in a storm.
But you
Fucking
know how
ridiculous.
it is. You do an action scene. The
Stupid
moment you
ass
start
movie.
doing an action scene, you're losing all interest. I want to go back to the talking. I want just the dialogue. That's all I want.
Yeah,
No action.
The dialogue was good. More so in episode 9. I felt like
didn't
there
think
wasn't
so.
much happening in.
I didn't like the
episode 8.
dialogue. I didn't like the dialogue in the scene where 11 was like already captured, and then Mike came in, and he like Will was like, "You're the heart," and then he came in and just like pushed 11 to
Well, no,
try
I'm
harder.
talking about the
I thought
dialogue
that
between
dialogue was,
Vecna
like,
and stuff.
So whack. I don't know. I
When,
thought-
all right,
like,
when was Stranger Things really that great for dialogue? It's the overall story, it's the plot. The dialogue ain't necessarily a thing, even though I just said that. But I'm just saying that's something I'm into normally when I watch media. But I feel like Stranger Things, where it's the plot, it's the setting, it's the overall story. The dialogue,
Yeah.
meh. The action,
Especially-
I purely just don't care about.
the dialogue between Will and Mike when they're in the car, and then
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
Will
that kind of
kinda, like-
confirms Will loves
Will
Mike.
kind of like confirmed, yeah. And
Yeah.
I thought that dialogue was like kind of cool until Will like said his final piece and then turned around. Again, like you said, the dialogue isn't like what it's known for, but some of the dialogue definitely could use work.
I mean, yeah.
In my opinion.
With Will, once he like said his piece and his like, he kind of understood that it was just never gonna happen between him and Mike, and him just like kind of breaking down and his heart breaking and letting it all out. Hey, it's it sucks. I'm sure we've all been there at some point or time. The other thing I wanted to mention about that episode was the group in Russia and them trying to get out of Russia and get back home that they've been doing for this whole season.
Yep.
Was super realistic and a little bit boring. Like, because other shows, they'd be like, all right, we're going to America. Next scene, they're in America. And, you kind of skip all that shit. But I understand there was other stuff happening there with, like, the particles and, like, the other the demigorgons and shit like that. But, like, goddamn, they were fixing that plane for so long. Like, there was,
Yuri wasn't going to, Yuri's trying to fuck him over. So, like you said, it is realistic in a sense. It does make sense.
No, it is. It was completely realistic in how, because they were explaining, like, it's like, hey, we can get you up in the air, but, like, let's hope your American buddies don't shoot us down once we get over like the airspace. And like they were explaining a lot of things that made sense and were very realistic, but at the same time I'm like, let's get this moving a little bit. Like it was a little long for me.
That was my
there
least
wasn't enough
favorite group.
There wasn't enough interest happening in those like scenes or like to move the story along, honestly. But a lot of the meat was happening with what was happening with Vecna and what was happening with L. And what I did enjoy about the group that was fighting with Vecna is like this is like the first time where they weren't 100% depending on L's power, and they had to figure out a way and the weaknesses and whatever to fight these things on their own. So I did enjoy that very much, them coming up with the different plans and stuff like that. Let's jump into episode 9. The season finale episode.
Hold up. I just want to say, since you were talking about that Russian group, I just want to say that was my least favorite group. And like, if you had to cut any of the groups in the show, it would have been that one. But I personally feel like they got caught with it because they're just trying to bring Hopper back, and they didn't want to lose that character. And then we ended up with that.
Hopper was only there because he had to get in shape for that stupid Black Widow movie. And they were like, how do we explain him getting in shape? Okay, he went to a Russian prison, and he got in shape. So it was just like...
They didn't have to do all that. They could have just literally took him out the whole show, bring him in for the last episode. It's like, hey, I was in a Russian prison.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, but, yeah. It's just, there needs to be a balance.
And also, one thing that I thought was cool, but also with that group, but didn't make any sense to me, is when he found that Conan the Barbarian sword just laying there, and then he cut the
wasn't that from the first half of the season though? That was one of the weapons.
Yeah, when they put them in there and they pick your weapons and so you can fight this monster.
They showed it again though. The sword, when he was gonna do something, there was the Conan sword was there again. So I don't know. I guess I didn't notice it before.
Yeah, no, they showed it a few times. Before we get into season 9, shout out to one Jonathan Exel, who's also in the Twitch chat. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, JX? Apparently, that was the original, sword from the original Conan the Barbarian movie too, like the actual one they used on set. So that's pretty cool. Fun facts.
That's the most I've seen of that Conan movie, right there.
That shit was so bad.
It's an action movie. There's no way in hell I'm going to
I think I tried to see it, and It was Jason Momoa.
I never even attempted that one. No, I've never seen either one. It's Conan. Who gives a shit?
Oh yeah, that's not the original Conan. Though.
Oh, you
so you know
sorry.
The original.
No,
Conan
okay.
with,
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. So okay, I didn't hear the original part, but
yeah. All right. Well, you continue. That's all I want to say.
Yeah. So episode 9, the season finale, 2.5 hours. Okay.
That's longer than most movies.
Once again, they could have kept going. I would have been all for it. 2.5 hours wasn't enough for me.
It was a little long, dude.
I think
it was a little long.
They could have shaved off at the end.
I was good, man. I'm a movie watcher. I'm not a TV show guy. This was perfectly geared towards me.
No,
He's like, give me 4 more
and that's
hours.
fine.
Yeah.
But like, if it's like there was like 40 minutes that was just like kind of there.
It was
At
like
the
a
end.
40-minute wind down at the end. I was like,
I was just like,
And then-
I was
and
like, when that ending happened, I was like, oh shit, it's almost over. Cool. I look at it, I was like 40 minutes up. I was like, what the fuck are they gonna do for 40 minutes? Like that's wild.
I was
You know what's funny,
there
though?
for it, man.
I was like thinking the same thing as you guys, but then it got to the part where Dustin told Eddie's father that what he did, how he died and stuff, and I'm just like, damn, this shit's like they're dragging. And then I'm like on the phone with my girlfriend, she's like crying and shit. I'm just like, oh shit. I guess it's hitting some people.
Speaking of Eddie's scene with the guitar playing Metallica's Master
It was
of
amazing.
Puppets
Amazing.
was like
Oh
so
my God.
phenomenal. Like just the background, like
It did not
fucking
have to
red
go that hard.
lightning.
It
like
did not have to go
like
that hard.
Metallica wish they could have done that. Like God,
He was
damn.
going to the last second too. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I was like, bro, you don't have to keep playing. You can stop. Like, now I gotta
would've
get this
been
solo
ran.
in.
He's like, this song is too good. This song is too good.
That was the most fucking metal thing I've ever seen.
It was like his hair. Like,
They're
I was-
basically in hell, surrounded by demon bats, just fucking rocking out on guitar to
For
make
real.
and the
Metallica was
song
crazy.
choice too.
Oh.
Master of
Killed
Puppets.
it.
Like, you know,
Eddie,
Vecna, this whole thing is a hive mind. Master of
Eddie-
Puppets was perfect.
Eddie became my favorite character, like in the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
show.
A lot
Like,
of people's favorite characters.
he
Favorite
you know, I really liked him because he has that bad boy, like menacing kind of appearance, but then he's the example. He's like the epitome of the quote, like "Don't judge a book by its cover," because
He's a
he's
huge
like the
fucking nerd.
friendliest, nicest nerd dude. Like,
Yeah.
sure, he's a little over the top sometimes, but that's just who he is. But he's like very kind-hearted. Like he took Dustin, Lucas, and the whole gang into his like Hellfire Club, and he didn't have to, and he was like nice
Yeah.
to them. And even Chrissy, the chick that died, I feel like she was kind of like, oh, this guy's actually kind of not what I expected. Nice,
Yeah.
before she died,
Yeah.
and he won my heart too at the end too. I was heartbroken, but it was cool. It was a nice climax how they used him, and it just goes to say the actor did such a great job because I fell in love with him in this show, and then they killed him, and I was heartbroken. I really felt it.
Yeah, no, it sucked when he died, man. But God, that scene was so epic. That's gonna be like an iconic thing for a while. I want to jump back to Hopper real quick.
Yeah.
Back in Russia, breaking out and breaking into prison. What happened to his foot? Is it all fine now?
Yep.
Yeah, with the hammer, right? They broke his ankles. They broke his ribs when he tried to get the
Now
lighter.
the thing is,
Yo.
the fact that you guys remember that blows my mind because I'm sure nobody remembers that. It's like think
it's
about how much
wild.
time has passed since
Yeah.
part 1 of season 8 started. I mean, season 4 started to part 2. Everybody fucking forgot that happened. Like I was there with you. I was like, oh, I guess they're not going to mention his foot. Guarantee nobody fucking remember that. Guarantee.
I did not forget.
I was just like,
They,
No,
they
'cause they-
clearly mentioned him breaking his ribs when he got the lighter. He's like,
Yeah.
it's totally worth it. And he's just acting all cavalier and nonchalant to broken ribs. And I know that's like one of the like painfulest bones to break. It was just, I don't know. I just couldn't get past it. He's a superhero. He has superhero powers from the Marvel. He kept them from being
yeah, man. Dude, it was just like, so he, like, because they concentrated on him breaking his foot with the guy and the hammer. They showed you what it looked like. They're like, and like he was limping and he was taking it off when he got to the safe house, and like all this stuff happened. And then like all of a sudden, like we got a break for 3 weeks and he came back and his foot was magically healed. Like, no, nothing. Nothing. He's just running fine in the snow, like not slipping,
cold.
sliding,
That shit turned to ice. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
just hard ice now.
like for real.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
In
Damn,
the
I don't
chat
even-
right now, so much has been going by. There's Rudy keeps on promoting Walmart. So yeah, apparently they're doing some type of pizza thing. Surfer Boy Pizza from the show.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So there's that, and
Oh, speaking of Surfer Boy, Argyle is like one of my favorite characters too.
oh yeah, it was a great.
The new
character.
character with
he
that
was
long
hilarious.
straight hair, hilarious, and he like progressed the story with his stonerness.
In the chat, Rudy
Oh.
also said take Steve, leave Eddie, and then Henry said the man with no hair has a point.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Henry.
Said take Steve, leave Eddie.
Yeah, I enjoy both characters. I like
I like
Eddie
I kind
Steve
of like
too.
I kind
Steve
of
isn't
like
bad.
Steve.
Yeah,
Steve's
Steve isn't
growing
bad.
on me. That brings me to
Like
the
his
point I wanted to
relationship
make.
with the other girl, with like
see,
the
this is where I got the
friendship.
cast pulled up.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
Maya
already.
Hawke's character, Robin.
Yes, like Steve and Robin's relationship is like really fucking cool. Like I enjoyed that a lot. Like she was introduced season 3, and she's been a lot of fun. She's like a really fun character since then. But yeah, no, I would I don't know, take Steve, leave Eddie.
Take
But
Jonathan, leave Eddie. I could go without him. And I feel like even his relationship with Nancy's fizzling out. They're like not affectionate. They should be friends. In my opinion, I don't know.
well, I mean they are dealing with the end of the world, so their
Yeah, I don't care.
relationships
If the
kind of
world's
like.
ending, I would have kissed the fuck out of my girlfriend after not seeing her for months. Like,
Well, this is back in the day. This like what is this time period? The 80s?
This is the 80s. Still, with
They
that
don't
being
kiss
said,
in the
disco
80s?
disco's
Come on.
100% correct.
No, like I mean, in the 80s, I feel like PDA wasn't like
Bro,
that
no,
much of a
it's
thing.
the
Maybe.
80s. It was probably
Okay,
more.
Maybe. Okay.
in the 70s and 80s, that's when just
Yeah.
everything was crazy.
60s was when it started going crazy. 70s, 80s, like, all right, we got this. We're going to keep this shit going.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Fernando, let us know what you like.
Because Fernando was around through all these decades we just
No,
mentioned.
for the 80s. He was definitely around for the 80s.
I was
Let us
there
know
for
how
the
it
80s.
was.
Like, I'm
Shut
telling
the
you
fuck
right now.
up. You were there
I
for
was,
like
were you
a
in
month
the
and a
80s?
half.
Were you in the 80s?
You were there for a month and
Were
a
you
half.
in the 80s?
You don't
Answer
even
my question.
remember
Answer
being
my
in the
question.
80s.
You're going to talk about memories? You're going to talk about memories?
Yeah, he got you there. He got you.
You ain't going to remember this conversation tomorrow. Oh man, but no, that's definitely a thing in the '80s. Look at everybody. You had Michael Jackson grabbing his crotch all the time. Prince was making those weird noises into a microphone. Shit was crazy. '80s.
I guess, yeah, that's a good that's a good promo for the 80s. Oh shit. All right, Hopper's Foot. We're past that. Vecna. And
Yeah,
the realm that was created. They show you
you caught that too,
What?
right, Danny?
He had like an aneurysm for a second.
I don't,
He
yeah,
said,
what just happened to you, Eslam? You had the head down. You were
Oh
moving
no,
your
because
face.
I was trying to I was no I was it was an
Okay.
itch, but
I thought you were trying
I
to
was
remember real hard.
No, I was trying to figure out how to word it properly, but
Okay.
they show us again 11 creating the world via Vecna or however, or just opening the
Or-
door.
yeah, whatever
This
was
world
the-
seemed to have already existed, right?
Hmm.
We see Vecna when he first got there. Number one, we see a Demigorgon already there, and the world that he entered is different than what we see in the Upside Down. So was his presence there corrupted it even further? Because or maybe his presence made the connection to our world and created the Upside Down of our world, right? And made that in there.
maybe that's
I
why
don't
the
know.
Upside Down is like a couple years behind. It's like stasis of when he got knocked into the other world.
But it's
Was that
it's
5
not
years?
it's
No.
not when he got knocked into it.
No.
It was when
No, it's not?
11, like when season 1 started, like when 11
Yeah.
broke out and everything. That's when it stayed in stasis.
Yeah. But it's just like the glimpse that we saw of the world seemed like very different, right? We saw the Mind Flayer, and he said he used the Mind Flayer to like create. So who's in charge, right? Is it him that's 100% in charge, or is it the Mind Flayer, or like did he absorb the Mind Flayer? Are
I
they
still
working
hope
together?
I still hope there's another thing. I hope there's another secret big bad that we're not
Yeah.
going to see until the following season. I hope. I don't know if that's going to be the case.
Well,
He's
they
using both of
did
them.
say
Yeah.
they did say season 5 wasn't going to be as long, so we're gonna see. I guess they did the bulk of the work in.
You
this
mean as
season.
long as to get to it? You mean?
Maybe I'm not sure. I think like the episodes in general and how many of them they are. They
Okay.
mentioned it wasn't going to be as long. I
Okay.
don't know how long is it going to take for them to create it and put it
gotcha,
out,
I
but
gotcha.
who knows? But hopefully now that COVID's pretty over, that they can move faster with it. But
No, man.
We'll see.
I think I'm hearing every day somebody I know has fucking COVID.
well, sure, yeah, everybody's
Summertime.
getting it, but like I think most
Everybody's
of the
going out and
most
just
of the
breathing on each
people
other.
most of the people are vaccinated, so like the cases aren't entering the hospital
No.
or life threatening. So, but yeah, the plan that they create with Vecna is that Max is gonna distract him. Eddie's and the other kid, they're gonna distract the bats, and then the rest of the team is gonna go in and find Vecna's body and attack it with Molotov cocktails.
Because
Right.
they're under the logic and the assumption that when Vecna, just like L, when Vecna is using his mind powers, he has to meditate too. So they're saying that when he jumps into Max, Max is the bait. They're gonna attack his body in the upside down.
It's
with that
essentially
logic.
astral projection.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then Elle was like, "All right, I can do that too." So she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go find Max, get into her brain, and protect her from Vecna, because she overheard their plan." Once they're in there, like Eddie does his thing, distracts the bat, perfect. They're going into the house up to the attic, where number one and killed his family originally, and they're avoiding all the like tentacles, the roots, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And then they get caught by the roots, and then they were getting choked for
about
like
an
an
hour.
hour and a half.
That's what it felt like, right? Yeah, they were
No,
there.
it legit what? It's like they got choked and they showed everything else, and then they finally come back to them like, no, we're still here.
Yo, when I saw that, I was just like, their lung capacity is immaculate. It's wild.
It's either that or Vecna was doing some dirty shit to them before he kills them. Like it's like why is he holding them? Like he went full like anime tentacle porn on them. Like why is he holding them there for like this long and haven't killed them yet? Like it's wild. But besides the point, Max, to draw out Vecna, talks about Billy, and we find out what she was feeling about Billy, how she didn't like him. He made her life hell, and she's just like, I didn't try to help him because I wanted him gone, and she feels really guilty about that, and she's trying to apologize. And then like Vecna shows up, and he gets drawn by that, shows up, and then Elle kind of shows up at the same time, right before he's about to kill Max for the first time. And then like stops him, and then he's floating in the air, right? She comes in all badass and like she's beating him, and then he wakes up, then he beats her for a little bit, and then he kicks both their asses and drags them back to his realm, his dream state, where his parts of the house is floating. You see the grandfather clock and whatnot. He puts Elle on the door. She gets caught by the by
He
those
like
tentacles.
he pushed her into his realm.
Yeah.
They were still in like Max's mind realm or some shit.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
And then he
pulled
made
them
like
into
another
his
portal
house thing.
and pushed L. I just thought that was crazy. How like there's just I don't know, worlds and worlds and worlds. They're just
Well,
making,
it's like
a
Inception,
domino.
right? It's like
Yeah,
you're in
yeah.
the dream, you create your own dream, and they're jumping in between dreams.
Yep.
Even though I didn't watch the movie, but
It's not a bad movie.
eventually I'll watch it.
It's pretty good.
He goes in there, he locks up Elle, and then he's like going after Max. While that's happening, Lucas is fighting the jock, who doesn't understand anything, who's grieving the loss of his high school girlfriend.
You're all worshiping the devil.
Yeah, and
I love how he was able to purchase a 357 Magnum and being young, so young, and take it home the same day. Like
It's the 80s, bro.
comparing
Yep.
it to gun laws we have now and stuff.
I mean,
he's
Nancy
he's
bought
in
a shotgun.
Illinois. No, I'm sorry, he's in Indiana in the 80s.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
they're like.
I'm
There
surprised
you
he
go.
didn't walk away with 2.
I'm surprised he didn't get a bazooka.
Second one half off.
Like the gun store. What was it called? Like wartime or some shit like that.
Warzone or some shit.
Warzone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warzone. And I was just like, okay. um. So that's happening, and then he goes after Max. You know, he has his like fucked up hand, and he puts it on her head, and he's like slowly killing her. This time it's taken a lot longer, because at that time Mike is telling Elle to fight, and it could be taking longer because she's fighting back, and you know he has to exert a little bit where the other people didn't really fight, and
That
they
and
were
he
dead
wants
in
to
like
hurt
2
her.
seconds.
Max is the one that got away. He wants her to
True.
feel it.
Yeah, taking his time. And then, you know, Elle breaks free, but Max got fucked up. Like her both her arms and legs started breaking, and then like Lucas catches her, and then she's like, I can't see or feel anything, and then she like dies.
They said she
Well,
had
at
died
the
for
same
like over
time-
a minute or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the same time that's happening, in Russia they're beating they're cooking, having a barbecue of the Demogorgons that were there, and that's when Hopper picks up the sword, and because the mind flayer particles went into the Demogorgons. We jump back to so we have that happening. They're still getting choked.
When they
once
killed
that
the
happened,
Demogorgon, some of the
they
bats,
got free.
Some of the
Yeah.
bats started disappearing because they're all hive mind, and so he's getting
Yeah.
weakened.
Well, the
If
bats
only they
all
had-
fell.
They all
If
dropped.
only they had
Yeah.
killed them sooner, maybe Eddie would still be alive.
Yeah, and then the guys who were getting choked for an hour and a half got released, and then they go up, start throwing Molotov cocktails at Vecna. He gets weak, and Elle's fighting him, but it's just like it's already too late. Max dies, completes the 4 deaths for the 4 portals, and then boom, shit goes wild. But Elle was like, nah, I'm gonna bring this bitch back. So she brings her back, and maybe that's what kind of slows down the portals opening, but they're already open, so it didn't fall completely, right? Like I feel like it stopped a little bit.
I think they just got it.
I think
They
they're
got
open.
Yeah, they're done. Like he got it
Lightning
open.
at the
They're open.
ending scene. The
Oh,
lightning
okay. So
was
it's
coming out.
No,
and
no. I
everything,
know
like-
it's open. It's open, but like I feel like if like Max didn't come back to life, it would have opened even more. But it's open. I don't know. I'm making shit up. Right
I'm
now,
under the
so.
impression that Max straight died, done,
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
And then they
I was very
sort
upset
of brought
that
Max back.
died.
We'll get into the whole Max being back, quote unquote. But
I got.
Yeah, it was in the 40 minutes that didn't need to be there.
loved it. Loved it.
But when Max said that, and like Elle was like there, and Max kind of dies and it stops, I would have just ended the season there. Huge fucking cliffhanger, right? The portal's opened, Max is dead, done. Just end it right there. Everything else in season 5. Because that would have been such a huge fucking cliffhanger. It would have been like,
They
damn,
left it
I
on
need
a,
to see
they
season
left it
5.
on a major cliffhanger. Like it's perfect the way they left it, dude.
No,
I
yeah,
forgot what
rather
the
have-
cliffhanger of the
I
end
ra-
was.
honestly, I'd rather have that 30-40 with this batch than
Yeah.
like, the next season because that's when Dustin talked to the old dude and shit. Like
Eddie's
if
uncle and everything.
If that was in the next season, I would have not even cared about Eddie by that time. So it's kind of nice that it was together.
Now, one thing I want to mention about the whole Eddie thing is Dustin is the only person in the entire fucking show, him and Eddie's uncle are the only people that gave a damn about Eddie dying. Nobody else
Yeah.
mentioned it. Nobody else
No.
brought it up. Nobody else gave a fuck. And I understand the town thought he was the one who did this, but I mean like the actual crew, Dustin's friends and stuff, who were like, hey, you're going to go on this thing with Eddie. And then Steve even says, whatever happens, you guys run. And like it's this whole thing, and then Eddie dies, and they're just like, "No, we're gonna serve some sandwiches. We're making PB&Js. We're all good, guys." Like Dustin's like, Eddie died. Eddie died, guys. But
He's like, well, but the original gang's here, so let's fire those things up.
yeah. But do you want to get into the cliffhanger at the end, since you don't remember it?
Yeah, no, I have no idea what the fuck happened at the end.
They go.
That's
into,
how unimportant it was to me.
So they go back to 11, where she's talking to Mike or whoever. It was the scene where like the people from Russia finally reunite with the crew in Hopper's
The
old
cabin.
house in the cabin. And then they basically they're talking, and then Mike is just like, yeah, I was talking to 11. She's been distant ever since we saw Max. They cut back to 11 sitting at the thing with Max where she's trying to communicate with her. Mm-hmm. She goes inside of Max's head, and Max isn't there.
Mm-hmm. It's black.
So,
it's pitch black too.
Pitch black.
On top
so
of that,
is her body is alive? Is she there mentally, or is she brain dead? Exactly. That's the cliffhanger. Is Max alive or not? And Max proved to be so important this season that is a huge cliffhanger. Now we're going up until season 5. Like, is Max going to be there or not?
She offered herself.
You don't give a shit. The world does, Eslam. Like, it's a huge deal.
It wasn't a bigger cliffhanger than Max actually dying the first time. Dying twice in a row, like, I don't give a fuck at that.
And then
like,
the big cliffhanger is Will.
Yeah, when he feels the thing and
the nosebleed, and I was like, oh shit, is he going to be evil or whatever like he was in season 2? And that leaves the potential.
He said he still feels Vecna there. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Well, then he does the whole nose bleeding thing and all that shit. But then that leads to
it's not none of this is as powerful as Lucas holding fucking Max, wailing and like being like so hurt that she died, and then like Elle in the fucking black mind also crying. It's just right there. If that shit ended,
I couldn't disagree with you more.
Holy fuck! Yeah,
I could not disagree with you more.
Our MO, so it's fine.
Like literally, it's just like she's in Max's mind. Oh my god, Max isn't there, and she can't tell their friends because she has to give them hope. Like they have so much hope for Max potentially coming back, and she's the only one, and she has to hold this burden within herself. That's fucking huge.
I don't know. That's a lot.
That's literally what 11 doesn't want to talk to anybody. Like what I'm not making this up. I'm telling you what happened.
I saw what happened. That's not what I got from it.
Like, yeah, okay. You cannot empathize at all with this.
No, I have no empathy.
I don't care about him. You got to put yourself in those shoes. That burden is huge. That's I don't even know.
Man, I'm dead on the inside. It's all good, but
he's just gout in there.
Seeing
no Mcafee.
He's got like a gout rock, like a core.
I don't know. For me, it was more emotionally like powerful to see Max dying, Lucas holding her, both crying, than her going in her mind and be like, oh, I got her body back, but I still don't know where her mind is. Yeah, maybe she can get her mind back from the upside down, or maybe because Vecna killed her, he has her mind. That's how he kills them. He takes their mind, their consciousness, or whatever.
Maybe she'll come back and be like Will in season 2. Maybe she'll be evil.
Maybe. Who knows? But you know what? That could have been a build-up in season 5.
No, it still very well could be a thing.
No, it will be. If anything, it will be a thing. But I'm just saying, to me, personally, my opinion is that if it ended right then and there, I would have been like, holy fuck, I need to see season 5 right now. That extra 40 minutes was just like, it made my excitement go down way too much. And then, all right, well, season 5 will get here when it'll get here. Hopefully I still remember what the fuck happened in season 4. Like, that's me. Like, you know.
Yeah, I loved it.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn about that last 40 minutes because I felt like it was like extra and kind of long, but also at the same time, like it was a wind down that kind of gave you like a couple stuff to just like kind of just.
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of nuggets for next season.
While it ends, you know. And then the last scene, like that giant electric cloud pops out. I was like, oh shit! Ooh, I'm excited. No. I want to see like a giant dragon or some shit pop out. See one of those big like demogorgons appear over the town or some shit.
The Mind Flayer again.
Yeah, or some shit like that.
Well, who was drawing the Mind Flayer back in the day? Was it one? Right, he was drawing it. Apparently, he had a connection to it before Elle even opened the gate.
Yeah, when he was still like a kid, like when the family first moved into that house.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if I wonder how that works. I'm probably gonna find out in season 5.
Yeah. But I want more background on Vecna too, like his life on the other side, like what he's because his body like transformed. Like when he first got there, he was more humanish, but then And then present day.
Well, he did
he's
say
like,
he took the mind flayer, so that's his body probably
oh, I
transformed when he
see.
took those
Maybe
particles.
I could see that.
But yeah, I want to see more of what transpired in the Upside Down, and I want to know. Hopefully, they give us an answer of what the Upside Down is.
Yeah, because he mentioned he's like, oh, you wouldn't believe the things that I saw. I was like, try me. I want to know.
See, this is one of those things where it's like I say this a lot with like horror movies, where I prefer the knowing less because it just leaves your imagination up to try to figure everything else out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I prefer like I don't want to know more about like obviously I do want to know more about the Upside Down, but they don't. I'm okay if they never tell me. Like, just leave it up to the people's imagination. That way, literally anything can happen.
I'm not asking them to answer every single question. I just want to know
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
just
Vecna,
the
I don't want any
tiniest
more
bit
backstory. I don't want to know any more. Like, I'm
of
fine. I just want to know if there's
what
another
this
big
world
part.
is, and then I'll go from there. I just like
Yeah.
just give me that little part. Like, what is this? And
I also
Anything else?
also want to know where the powers come from. Like, is it just evolution, or like, where'd they get those? Like, where do the powers come from? Like L's powers and One's powers. Like, where's that? Where does it come from? Is it just like human evolution, or because I thought from the first season or something, I thought Elle was connected to the Upside Down.
That's what we all
because of her
thought.
powers. So I'm just like, what?
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
What
the
is
thing.
that
We
connection
have, we have
there?
no
Well, we
idea
thought
what's
the
going
Upside
on.
Down is what gave them the powers, but
Yeah.
it could be still because now we find out one had some type of connection with the Mind Flayer since he was drawing it. So that power could still be coming from.
True, I guess.
Maybe
And L's
anybody who
clearly
has potential
connected
telekinetic
to-
stuff.
And L's clearly connected too because he pretty much blasted One to the Upside Down. So maybe I guess so. Maybe they'll mention that in the next season. But that's just something I was wondering.
I just want to say in the Twitch chat, shout out to Pretty Little Miss. That's somebody we actually don't know that's joined us on the Twitch thing.
Oh,
so thank
sweet.
you.
Thanks for joining.
Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out.
All right. What else? Anything else from this season you guys want to discuss? Or these last two episodes?
No, like I said, I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed all the different sides, different stories. I thought the interaction when they went to the other pizza place between what's the guy's name again?
Argyle.
Yeah.
Argyle and then the other guy, where it's just like, oh, it's just like another like
and
pothead
the other
dude.
Argyle.
Yeah,
I'd love to help a fellow surfer pizza dude. They had that same stoner vibe going.
and like every time they say where it's like my dude, like
Yeah. Listen, my dude.
that was entertaining.
Yeah, no, his character was a lot of fun too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I like
was
where
he,
they.
That actor's
was
supposed
he
to be
Native
really-
American?
Yeah, the actor's supposed to be really good. I heard he's in the Grizzlies too. I actually haven't seen it, but I've been really wanting to.
I've seen him in like little cameo things in different movies and shows and
Yeah.
stuff.
He's supposed to be really good in them. So
Is he
I
native?
wanna
Is
check
he
that.
is he supposed to
I
be
think
Native
he's
American
real,
in the
I
show?
think he's actually native. Oh,
I think he's native. I don't know in the show.
I don't know
Okay.
about in the show, yeah, but
All right.
yeah, honestly, I kind of like the newer characters more than the original characters. Like they could take Mike out, Will, Jonathan. I liked Eddie. I liked Robin. I liked Argyle. I liked like the newer characters they threw in. Like,
Well, they do that every season. Every season, like season 2, they introduced Max. She was badass from the beginning. Season 3, they introduced Robin. Season 4, now we got Eddie. It's like every season they're introducing, and it's not more than just those one people. Like every season they come out, it's like we're gonna hit you with some more characters that you're gonna just enjoy. Like that, they feel like they do a really, really good job with that.
I could lose Mike, Lucas, and Will right now and be totally okay with the show.
I don't know. I still like Lucas.
You know what?
I
After
enjoy all
that
of them.
fight with the jock, did give him a little more something
Lucas
more to
and
attract
out
to.
of the originals, Lucas and Dustin are still like my top two.
Yeah, I like Dustin.
Yeah, those are probably the 2 top guys out of
Yeah,
everyone.
Mike
but
and
I
Will
enjoy
kind
them
of
all
like
for the
they
most part.
fell off a little bit. Just Mike just needs to they need to feed him. Like
That was
poor
right,
kid.
right. I was like, you
Yeah,
went.
him
How
and
long
his
did you go?
son.
You went over
Poor
40 minutes
kid,
before
yeah.
insulting this child.
I swear to God, you know what he looks like? He's the perfect person right now to play Superman from Flashpoint. The one that was locked up in the basement with no sunlight, all frail and
Damn.
shit.
He is pale enough. They definitely need to give him some sun. He
You know,
does
that's a
look
perfect
sickly.
casting.
There was
but,
a pale Superman in Flashpoint. I don't remember. I remember Earth 2 pale Superman.
Remember in Flashpoint when they found out Superman actually did land on the Earth, but they locked him in a government basement with Red Sun, and
Yep.
he was just like super frail, tiny.
No.
And then when they released him, he kind of like went crazy.
This is
You
hell
remember
must
that in the
hell
comic
must
books?
be freezing over. You're remembering something I don't. Yeah, no.
Yeah, in the comic books, yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, let's move on.
How about does anybody think that Nancy is gonna get with Steve?
I give not two shits about these relationships.
Once again, Eslam doesn't like this show. So,
Well, exactly.
I like this show. I
So
just don't
Dan,
care
do you
about these
think-
relationships.
I think I could see that. I could see Nancy and Steve getting back together, and I think Jonathan's going to be more like, you know what? You're happier this way. I just want you to be happy.
It's gonna
I'm
be
go off and do my
0-2
own thing.
for those brothers. They're gonna be 0-2 in their love
Damn.
lives.
You know,
I
they
think
did
that's
end
what's gonna
they did end the season with like, "I'm always here for you, bro," and then they
Yeah.
had that moment where Will started crying again, and maybe that's what the setup was.
Damn, they're just
But
gonna be
because also
0-2.
Nancy and Jonathan had that moment where
Exactly.
Jonathan kind of like dismissed Steve, and then Nancy was actually like, "Well, actually, you know,
It
Steve
was like,
kinda
Steve's
grew
grown
a
up
little
a
bit,
lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, so
That's what I'm
it's
saying. There's a
like-
lot of nuggets in this last 40 minutes that, like, it's the character development.
And when they were in the river, Steve took his shirt off and jumped in. And the girls were kind of like, "Damn, Steve!"
Yeah.
Like, you know, their loins were definitely loining. So
And then Eddie jumps in the river like, I ain't no bitch. Like,
totally. So, you know, there might be a little spark there. I don't know if anybody wants to put in their bets, comment on the video, or you know, where do they think that's gonna go? Nancy and Jonathan, they're gonna break up or what?
yeah, at this point, yeah, I definitely see Nancy and
Well,
Steve
the whole
being a
issue
thing.
with Jonathan was just like, I don't want to hold her back. Like, I'm not good enough for her.
That's why I
And
see it going
then,
that way.
And then seeing what happened with Will and Mike, he's like, fuck, like I shouldn't, like, it's not my decision. Like, I'm just gonna go for it, and if it happens, it happens. I feel like that's what happened at the end, and then, you know, it'll work itself out in season 5. But again, it's not something that's like on the top of my mind whether they get together or not.
And one
Definitely
thing
not
I
the
want to
most
shout out.
important
It's not an
thing, but
important
something that's
storyline.
No, it's the end of the world, of course not. But one thing I want to shout out, we haven't talked about at all. Shout out to Erica, Lucas's little sister.
Oh yeah,
'cause-
she's a beast.
oh
But
my
she's
God.
been a beast.
yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like when
she's
they
been a
first. When did they introduce her? Season 1 or 2, where she just had like maybe 2
Season
lines.
2, I think.
And I was
Yeah,
just like,
season
she's just Lucas's sister. Nobody cares. And look at how far
She's
developed
the
that
genius.
character has become.
She's just amazing. She's unstoppable, that little girl.
yeah,
I
just
was
kicking people
blown
in the
away.
dick, like it's amazing.
It's just pretty much you can't get her to do anything she don't want to do, and that's
Yeah.
pretty respectable. She's
Great
got
character.
an amazing skill set. She kicked ass in the D&D game, like, you know. She's just got everything. She saved
Yeah.
them at the end where she like ran into the jungle gym and they're communicating with the flashlights. Yeah, she was just everywhere doing everything, kicking butt, taking names. It was cool.
So I'm curious to see if they're going to show somebody in her generation, a new character maybe, because she's the only one in that age group. As of right now.
True. I don't know. They might leave her as that younger sister that's always kind of like following.
Yeah. Well, there's Mike and Nancy's sister who never grows up, like the little blonde girl. Yeah, it's just this little blonde girl. Just like
I forgot.
I've
she
been 3
existed.
for 4 seasons now. I just act the same exact way.
Meanwhile, all the other
forgot she
kids are like
existed.
grown adults now. Like,
I mean, she's growing. That's the funny thing. Like, you could clearly, it's the same actress. She's clearly growing, but she's acting the same age in every season. I'm like, okay.
yeah. I think that's all I have.
All right. Anything else? Let's move on.
I wonder if the government is going to get involved
All right,
since
because there's more.
this is my last one. I wonder if the government since
I mean, they're
Since
very
the,
much involved already. Yeah.
no, yeah, but like pretty much the whole 11 program was like the government, wasn't it?
Nah.
Or that was
The,
just
the
it
government
was
was
a-
the people that came in and murdered them.
Oh, at the end
Yeah.
and killed everybody. I see.
Yeah.
I see. So I wonder if the government's still going to try to chase Elle and if they're going to get her and then try to use her. So I wonder what the government's going to do. Because I know they're going to have to help, you know, with that big-ass new gate that opened. Because
Yeah.
who knows, like 1 million bats are going to pop out that thing. You know, Demogorgon.
No, I'm sure the government's gonna be in it. That's the whole reason why they put Elle back in that cabin, just so she could hide from the government. So I guarantee the government's gonna be a big factor in the
Well,
next
because
season.
that doctor was begging the general, be like, "Hey, just let her. We're gonna need her. Like, if this is actually happening."
Yeah. Then he's like, "Fuck you, Paul Reiser."
Yeah.
Yeah, but the government pretty much said, "F you, take the shot." So
Literally
they
just
didn't
said
even
that.
they didn't even regard his opinion. Like she's important. So
Did we officially see him die, or is no?
Who?
Right? I don't think so.
no, he's
Paul-
still just captive. The doctor.
The Dr. Paul
Yeah,
Reiser.
we
No, he's
didn't
still alive.
officially see him. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Papa
Anything
died
else?
though.
All right. I'm moving on.
That's it. That's it.
Moving on to news now. I'm gonna go first. Some Netflix news since we're talking about Netflix. I'm sure we've mentioned this before, but I just want to refresh everybody's memory. Squid Game Season 2 has officially been announced by Netflix. The creator of the series has said the Ji-hun is that his name, right? Returns. The front man returns. The man in the suit with Dakij. I don't know how to pronounce that, but whatever. Might be back. You'll also be introduced to Yoongi's boyfriend and Chil Soo. Don't know who these. I forgot who these are. Speaking of Squid Games, yeah, it's been a while. A Squid Games reality show with a 4.56 million prize fund is coming to Netflix, so that should be interesting.
Okay. They announced this. They announced this a few weeks ago, and it's funny. Everybody's just like, "Mr. Beast did this on YouTube already."
Yep. I think he did the same amount of money though, like $456.
Yeah, he did the same as the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually watched his thing. It was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, no, it was good. I saw it too. I feel like he was already super popular on the YouTube, and like if you're a YouTube person,
Yeah, old man.
on the YouTube,
who's really
But-
popular on the YouTube.
but like I feel like him doing that with Squid Games brought him into the ether of like everyone else who doesn't watch a lot of content on YouTube. But
Yeah.
whatever. Death Note live action series in the works from the Stranger Things creators.
Duffer Brothers.
Yep, the Duff Brothers. They are also creating the Duff Brothers creating a production company
Duffer.
for, huh?
Duffer.
Oh, okay, that's what it's called.
Mhm.
It's called Upside Down Pictures.
I mean, they're the Duffer Brothers.
Yeah, but their production company is called Upside Down Pictures. Did I pronounce it wrong?
You kept saying Duff, like Duff beer. Like
Oh,
in The
sorry.
Simpsons.
Okay, I thought
That's all
Duff
good.
beer. All right, the Duffer Brothers are creating their Upside Down production company for the Stranger Things spinoff, which they're also doing, which they had mentioned will not have any of the main characters, and the Death Note series. I don't know why Netflix keeps going back to Death Note. Like
People like it.
People like Death Note, not the shit that they made. But
A bunch of people who don't know are gonna be like, "Hey, let me watch it. It's on Netflix. I have Netflix." How many people watch shows just because they're shows? That's a huge amount of people. It's like it's a show. Let
guess.
me watch it. Like
Honestly,
I that's not me.
It's kind
but-
of me sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just watch, like, give it a chance and put it on the background.
Yeah, that's a majority of people. It's like
Sometimes-
there's a show on.
Sometimes
Let
I
me just
watch
put
a
it
show
on.
just to watch. Like right now, I'm watching the Chris Pratt show. He just released
The
one
on Amazon. Yeah,
I literally can't even remember its name.
I saw a trailer and I was like, I'm not gonna even. I don't even want to attempt to watch this.
yeah, the military show.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
some weird shit. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, whatever. All right, I'm done with my news. Disco.
Yeah, I'll go. I have some sad news today. James Caan, actor, legend, legendary actor James Caan has passed away. July 6th. He was 82. He was from the Bronx, and he is in a bunch of movies. These are some of my favorite: Misery, Godfather 2, Elf. He was in The Good Neighbor. So many movies.
Well, the first Godfather, but yes, Santino, Sonny. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Just amazing actor. I read that he was like a fixture on Playboy Mansion, like in the 80s. He was very outspoken and respectable man. I'm always gonna remember his characters and rest in peace, James Caan.
Rudy just shouted "Misery" in all caps. Yes, Misery. One hell of a movie.
Who?
Misery. Great movie.
I love that movie.
No, who shouted out?
Rudy.
Oh.
Yep. That movie was crazy, man. That Stephen King book was bananas.
Oh, dude.
If you haven't seen
Kathy
Misery,
Bates is
check
great
it
in
out. She killed that role, and
Really good,
James Caan too. They both just sold it so well. It was
Like, bitch, my leg hurts. Just leave me alone.
talk about broken ankles, man.
Right?
Ooh. That movie was crazy. Man, rest in peace, James Caan. Next up, some more kind of downtrodden news. Carlos Santana passes out in one of his concerts. It was in Detroit at the Pine Knob. I lost that page. Anyway, he passed out. Apparently, it was to like dehydration and stuff like that. He's in the hospital. He's doing well. They say he's doing well. So we'll see. I just mentioned it because he's one of my favorite guitarists. I play guitar, and he's just one of my favorites. He has a very unique sound, and he's. I read in the article he was 74. I was like, holy cow, he's getting up there, man. I hope he doesn't pass away. This man is an absolute legend, and he's just killer on the guitar.
One of the greatest to ever do it.
I read that on his first like one of his major acts, like legendary acts. It was like Woodstock. I think the one Jimi Hendrix was at, and he had taken LSD by accident with his band, and like he was just like, oh shit, and apparently he ripped because he made him famous.
Started playing air guitar and sounds came out.
Yeah, man. So Carlos Santana, my prayers. I hope you're doing okay. The world needs you and your music. Next up, leaning over to some entertainment news. Amazon Prime's Night Sky is canceled after the first season. They're taking after Netflix's cancel raging frenzy. So they're starting Night Sky. I personally saw it and I thought it was a really good show. I thought it was a unique take on the main characters were an older set of individuals, which is different. Usually it's kids or like young athletic type, and so this is pretty cool to see some old people doing some crazy shit. Check it out, Night Sky. Maybe don't check it out; it's getting canceled. Night Sky. God, so depressing.
Hey, shows have been revived before if they get a cult following later on, so you never know.
That's true. It has what is it? J.K. Simmons, awesome actor. I don't know the woman that he's acting with, but she played a very awesome role too. Night Sky canceled. Boom. Next up, some Daredevil news. Daredevil will be looking for Jessica Jones in the new show that they are creating, which makes us believe that Jessica
Cox
Jones will,
Vince
reprising her role. Kristen
D'Onofrio?
no.
Some shit.
Yeah, D'Onofrio. Yeah, that's how you say it. Will be reprising the roles as Daredevil and Kingpin.
What show
The
is
show
this?
will be called Echo.
Okay.
It's a new Disney Plus show.
Awesome. Yep. So some of the awesome actors that we know will be reprising their role. I thought that was pretty cool news. That's it for me.
All right.
Cool.
I have some news, and it's in one of my many tabs, so I'm just talking and talking until it pops up. Paper Girls is a show that's going to be coming soon to Prime, Amazon Prime. I don't know. I haven't seen the trailer. From what I heard, it's not the greatest, but Paper Girls is like one of the best comic books I've ever read. Essentially, think Stranger Things, but crazier. And it's a bunch of girls who are literally paper girls. They deliver newspapers, and then they just fall into this madness. There's time travel. There's weird like creatures. There's alternate dimensions. There's robots. Like they go through multiple time periods. It's a phenomenal comic book. I hope that the show does it justice. As soon as I saw it, like it came out around the time Stranger Things was getting popular, or at least that was around the time I started reading it. And it was it caught that momentum for people who like comics. Like they were like, oh shit, this is a really fucking good comic book. So that's coming to Amazon Prime very soon. Let me see if I have the
Are you
actual
excited
date.
for it, or are you kind of like
I mean, it's a show.
they're gonna ruin it?
Yeah, it's a show, so chances are it's not going to be good. But it comes out July 29th, so very soon. Maybe be worth it. Anybody who is intrigued, check out the trailer, and better yet, go read the fucking comic book because it's probably going to be better. And then I want to talk about some video game news. Forspoken has been delayed into 2023.
Yep.
It's a good thing and a bad thing, and I don't mean this in terms of the league, Eslam, because it is your
I know
game.
what you mean.
Yeah, obviously,
I'd
I'm
rather
happy
be
you're
delayed and
not
come
delayed.
out good too, because I was looking forward to that since Project Athea got announced.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping it comes out good.
So I heard a lot of like things where people were just like they saw behind closed doors previews of it, and it was always the same thing. It's like it looks okay, and I was just like, oh man, like every single time they said that. So it looks like they needed some work, and they are delaying it to 2023. So there is that.
But
hopefully,
just till January, so hopefully these couple of months actually
yeah.
they can do stuff to make it better.
See, I do have a theory as to why it got pushed to January. God of War finally got its announcement that it's coming out in November.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you get Forspoken out of the way because everybody's fucking playing God of War Ragnarok, which is good news for everybody and Danny specifically.
Finally, it's 2 years in the making. You don't know what I had to do in the sidelines to make this happen.
Oh man. And Henry in the chat shouts, Digimon survive. Henry, it's only you. It's only you, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got that counter picked in the league. Let's see how that thing does.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Fun fact, there might be another counter pick going through this Saturday. Just keep an eye on it. And so God of War...
Looks like Dan finally made his counter pick.
Did I, or am I just talking shit? God of War, very much excited to play the game. I'm not the biggest fan of the first game like the rest of the world was. I think it's a great game. I don't think it's as good as everybody said it was. Very much looking forward to the sequel. I hope it's good.
I just started playing God of War.
How are you liking it?
I haven't gotten to any main juicy parts yet. So I'm literally just in the beginning still. I'm not in the open world part yet. So
you did the big fight?
Which big fight?
I
guess not.
Big fight that's like 5 minutes into the game.
Yes, I did that. Yes,
I hope
did
so.
that fight.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that fight.
It's the
just
best
started and then
superhero
stopped.
fight. Yeah, it's the best superhero fight I've ever seen in a video game. Like that, it's great. It's basically you have like people like the strength and speed of like a Superman crashing through everything, and then the way the cinematic was, it was phenomenal. So I really enjoyed that in God of War. But yeah, so there's that. Fun fact: I picked up PlayStation Premium for a month. I was like, let me try it out. And I saw Spider-Man, the PS4 Spider-Man is on there, the PS5 version or the PS4 version, which I have on PS5. So I got to cheat and get that platinum trophy. So I'm up another platinum trophy now. Pretty happy about that. And I saw they have Stick of Truth on there, which I never got the platinum trophy. South Park Stick of Truth. So I'm playing that. I'm going in there. I'm the new kid. I'm just beating up kids left and right, shooting them with bows and arrows and farting on their dicks. So one hell of a game. Once I get that trophy, I'll probably go. That's what you do.
Wow.
That's what you do. One of the trophies, you have to watch your parents have sex for 60 seconds. Name of the trophy is Pervert. The sequel,
This
The
is a
Fractured
game?
Butthole.
Yo, this shit's
Yeah.
wow.
Dude, it's South Park. What do you expect? Like,
That makes perfect sense.
one of the trophies, you have to be, there's different classes where you're either a mage, a wizard, a warrior, or a Jew. So I had to pick Jew in order to get this trophy. And then in order to get it, you have to find Jesus as a Jew. And he's literally hiding in a church. So you have to go around the church and find Jesus. So, I got that trophy. But yeah, looking forward to getting that platinum very soon. Next up, I have my wrestling news. Not too much going on in the wrestling world. First thing I want to mention, Pat McAfee has officially re-signed with WWE. So he's going to stick with them for a little bit. A lot of people like Pat. He had that big WrestleMania moment. He was the guy who got stunnered by Stone Cold, and then they cut to him, and he was just like chugging beer while he was passed out next to the ring. So he's still going to be there. It looks like he's still going to do commentary and occasionally have matches here and there. Should be entertaining. Liv Morgan finally has won WWE Championship Gold. She won the Money in the Bank this past pay-per-view, And then Ronda Rousey had a match against Natalya Neidhart for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Rousey wins. Liv Morgan comes out right after, pins Ronda Rousey, the only the third woman in WWE history to ever do so, and is now champion. So shout out to Liv Morgan from New Jersey. Good for her.
Good shit.
A lot of people thought she never would have made it to that level, but here she is. She got a big fan base over the past year and a half. So, good to see somebody work their way up to that instead of having somebody come from the outside and just take it. So very happy to see Liv Morgan win that title. One more thing I want to mention is a match has been announced for the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, Death Before Dishonor, a huge match, the rematch. FTR versus the Briscoes for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. Last time they fought was the first time they ever stepped in the ring with one another, and it was one of the greatest fucking tag team matches I've ever seen. Can't wait to see a rematch with these two just hard-hitting, just no-nonsense teams. Going to be amazing. So looking forward to that. And the last bit of wrestling news I have, Tony Khan said the Forbidden Door pay-per-view obviously did very well in terms of pay-per-view buys and ticket sales. But what he did was a little special. So he did the Forbidden Door pay-per-view with New Japan Pro Wrestling on Sunday. Wednesday, he did the Blood and Guts show where you had the guys in the two rings with the two cages fighting and just nothing but chaos. And then the Friday, he did something called Royal Rampage, which was a battle royal. Winner fights the AEW World Champion. So it was like a consecutive 3 big shows in a row. And he's saying going forward, he might make that like a regular thing. So that could be almost like a... WWE does that every once in a while with WrestleMania or a big pay-per-view where they have an NXT show and some other stuff going on in consecutive days or within the same week. So it looks like AEW has something set now with Forbidden Door, Blood and Guts, Royal Rampage. 3 huge shows that did very well for him. So I'm looking forward to seeing the future there. See what comes of it.
But this is not going to be like a weekly basis. This is when they have like a pay-per-view type thing.
Well, this is when they do the specific Forbidden Door pay-per-view. So let's say in a year's time, Forbidden Door happens again, Forbidden Door 2, then that Wednesday would be Blood and Guts again, and then that Friday would be Royal Rampage again.
Okay.
So at least that's the plan as of now. Of course, that could change, but I think it's a good plan. It was one hell of a week for AEW. They did great, despite having damn near half their roster injured. But good showing. Good showing. Wrestling overall, it's been pretty good lately. I'm proud of wrestling.
Yeah.
Proud of wrestling.
Good shit.
And that's all I got.
Is that all?
That's it.
All right, everybody. Let's do some final thoughts. Disco?
I have a getting old story. It's pretty quick. It's about my elbow. I don't know. Somehow I took a shit, and then when I went to go flush, the flush was
Elbow
on top.
popped out.
I pressed the button, and I hurt my elbow. Tell me how it happened? No idea. But my elbow has not been the same since I flushed that flush. Don't get old, kids. That shit is not fun. It's real. It's a real hazard. Brush your teeth.
Yeah,
That's
right.
crazy. Wow.
Hang on. Before we move on from Disco's final thought, Henry's asking for the second time. Can you give Henry a birthday shout out, Disco?
Oh, of course. Henry.
When is it today?
No, it's not. He says this every time we go on Twitch. Can he get a birthday shout out? This is like the 30th one he's asked for in the past
I'll give it to
couple
him.
months.
Happy birthday, Henry. Your birthday's coming up. If it's not today, I'm ready for the next time it is.
Okay. Dan, your final thoughts?
My final thoughts. Yeah, man. I'm so far I'm enjoying PlayStation Plus Premium. Getting to play some games. Getting to play some games there. Doing it through streaming onto my computer, so it's still not the greatest. And it sucks to get it on the projector. I got to get a TV soon, and Amazon Prime Day is coming up. So looking at that. Might be picking
Also,
up a
Best
TV
Buy
there.
has been having sales on TVs.
Oh, yeah.
I keep getting emails and shit.
Yeah, there's one TV in particular I was looking at on Amazon. Seems interesting. It's something I might want to try.
Don't get the fucking Rokus. They suck ass.
Yours does.
I hate Roku.
The one I had that did get screwed up, I have had since I don't know how many years, and it finally screwed up.
I just don't like the Roku platform.
I love
it. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I prefer the Google
That's
stuff,
what
'cause
that's
it
what
has
I'm
more
what I'm
apps.
looking at is a Google. It's a
It just has
it's
more
a Sony.
options.
It's a Sony Google
Yeah.
TV I was looking at.
It just has more options. Like Roku is so like confined to what apps they'll let you have, and it's just like, fuck Roku. You done?
Almost. Shout out to Bogar Man who just showed up in the chat. What's up, man? What's going on, John?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Mogar.
Okay, is that it?
Those are my final thoughts. Yes.
All right, my final thoughts. I got another, like, my shoulder's been hurting still hasn't recovered. I don't know why it hurts, but it started hurting and it hasn't stopped. So I just don't know what to do. It might fall off. We'll see what happens. Eventually I'll go to the doctor.
I love how final thoughts for you guys is just like, yeah, I'm in pain. It hurts to be alive.
I'm just
getting
projecting
old.
for my future because by the time I'm 60, I'm foretelling my elbow's gonna be gone. I'm just gonna be like a little. I can't use it.
Good thing, Dan, because they have those new prosthetics that look very promising. So you could have a robot arm.
I will go for that. I will take the surgery. Just knock it off. Actually, I don't know. I play guitar. I kind of need that synchronization. If
it'll
it's
be
good
good.
enough.
It'll be good.
I don't know. The
It'll be good by
prototype might
then.
not be good. It might have
Well,
beta issues.
by the time you're 60, hopefully it's not the prototype because we already seen the prototypes, right? So
True. I'm right-handed. I got to learn how to beat with my left. Man, it's crazy. It's a crazy world.
Oh yeah, I already beat with my left.
God damn it! I didn't want to say it. Rudy said in the chat, "You got to remember to switch hands when jerking off." I was gonna just let it go, but it applies to what you guys are saying.
Nobody ever told me that. Nobody told me that. My right hand is
Oh
gone
yeah,
now.
no, I beat with my left. You don't beat with the hand.
Y'all be
you eat with.
ghosting that
Come on,
shit.
bro.
I hate final thoughts sometimes, guys. I really do.
Hey man, thank you for listening to Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you hear, follow us on social media, like, subscribe, share, rate, review. Go check out our YouTube channel. Lots of videos goes up throughout the week. Go check out our social media, and hopefully moving forward, go check out our Twitch channel where we will be doing more live streams.
And also be
Thank
sure
you
to
for
check out our website where you could see what's going on in the LWG FEGL Season 2. Things are heating up. Danny's got God of War Ragnarok coming out. There might be competition for second place finally, so we'll see.
I gotta start making more moves. Now that I got God of War, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be trading. I got like $1 million in the bank. Let's do this. Double wristing.
Thank you for listening. Have a great week.